Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another Jada Toys action figure review, and today we're going to look at the Ultra Street Fighter 2 Deluxe BLANKA. And holy crap, this was the first character I really liked using a lot because I used to just mash the electricity button, and I think most of us started with BLANKA, right? And just mashing, right? No? I don't know. But you can see there's a little mini read-up right over there on the side. Get some other Street Fighter characters right over here, and then a whole bunch right here to choose from. And then on the top, you get a Windows sliver. Not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And if you're trying to get your Jada Toys, you can do so at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Alright, that was a bad impression of BLANKA. But anyway, here's the figure out of the packaging, and damn it, this figure is awesome. Just to get that out of the way, I was really happy with the Sagat figure, but this BLANKA right over here, holy crap, man. I'm stoked about the paint, the sculpt, the accessories, the articulation. I have one gripe about the figure, which we'll get into later on, but for the most part, my goodness, I am very impressed by this piece. Really dig the accessories too, so let's get a closer look at those first, and then we'll get a closer look at BLANKA. So not a ton of accessories with the figure. You get the two heads, two sets of hands, and these electric effects, but I do think this is the perfect amount of accessories to get with this figure. The hands came out looking pretty solid. Sculpted, a little bit of paint in between the fingers right over there. You can see the nails are painted on these. You get the open hands right over here for the slashing and the clawing. So yeah, I think these all look pretty good. You can see some more of that darker green paint in between the fingers right over there on those knuckles. So I'm liking that. Damn, it's really hard to see, but you can even see a touch of darker green in the palms of these hands. Very, very cool. And then what we have is electricity effects over here, which do look really good. Fairly soft, pliable material, so you don't have to worry about them breaking on you. And I like how it goes from yellow to just clear right over here with this translucent plastic. And they are not the same, so you can see you have a little bit more length on this one right over here compared to this one. And you can see that they have this shape with this right over here, so you could use his move. I will say, though, as a minor nitpick, I do prefer a little bit more of this jagged look for electricity that we see from SH Figure Arts. You know, and this is a lot more brittle, so you do get a lot more give with these right over here. But yeah, I do prefer the thinner, more jagged looking electricity for those electricity effects. Here's a look at BLANKA, and I gotta say, I like both of these head sculpts a lot. I really like what they've done with the hair. You get some really great looking paint detail with the hair on this figure. It just looks so damn good, and yeah, they painted the back of the hair, not just the front. You can see that light dry brushing over the orange, can't you? Looks so freaking cool. I really like it a lot, man. Now, I will say as a minor gripe, I do think that the color choice for this figure is a little desaturated compared to these images I looked up online. However, it doesn't really bother me that much because I still really like what they've given us here. And it looks a little bit less hulking to me anyway, you know, but that's, oh man, see, look, both of these heads just look so good. I really love this one more. I really like both of them a lot. And again, we get the nice dry brushing over the hair on this one as well. And I love how the hair is very soft and pliable. It's actually empty on the inside of it, as you can see right over there. And then to give you a little BLANKA comparison, you can see the SH Figure Arts version has much more saturated orange and green tone to it. So I do like that. I don't know if I prefer it though. I don't know. There is some texturing going on with this figure that we don't get with the Jada Toys figure. But damn, this one has more paint detail on it though. You can see like in the collarbone right over here, you get some darker green in the neck right over there. We're going to go over the articulation more in a minute. But damn, the arms came out looking really good with the tiny bits of shadowing effect. I love how it's just a soft amount of it. It reminds me of SH Figure Arts a bit, even though the SH Figure Arts one doesn't have as much of that paint going on, which is just a little bit funny. Now, a little discrepancy with how it looked in the game is that, you know, you had these kind of like hairs that went across like that, but having this instead is okay with me. It's just a little inaccurate to what I was looking up. So that could bother some, I'm sure, but it doesn't bother me. Looking at the back of the figure, you still have a whole ton of that beautiful shadowing effect in the musculature right over there. Looks like there's a subtle color difference between the upper and lower torso right there, but it's just ever so subtle. I'm just really noticing it now with all the lights on here. Look at that. The abs are all painted out very nicely. And the shorts look really good. You get some nice black paint mixed in there. And we get the nice soft rubbery material right over here, which I'll bring up again later on as we go through the articulation. You get some nice rips right there in the shorts. And yeah, it's painted all the way through. And look at that. The calves look really good. We get the nice gunmetal gray right here for these chains, for these shekels right over here. So that's pretty cool looking. I do like that color choice. It has a little bit of brown mixed in it, so they look like they've been around for a while, a little bit rusted. I just needed to zoom in on that because it just looks so damn realistic. It looks so damn cool. So I really like that. Wish these could open, but I'm not seriously hoping for that. And then you get some nice looking patas right over here, man. Yeah, they did a good job. Paint in between the toesies and the toenails are painted too. And then here's looking at the bottom of the feet, and you get peg holes. So the articulation on this figure is freaking phenomenal. I love it. You have a ball joint at the head right over here. Without using the neck joint, you can get him looking up just that much, and he'll barely look down. Of course, you can turn the head side to side, and it pivots right there at the head. But we also get the neck joint, and we just don't get a neck joint. We get a neck joint with a hinge at the base of it, which is so freaking cool, because I just reviewed that Sagat figure, and I wish that they had added a hinge to one of the joints. I actually mentioned this joint up here, but the fact that they added it down here, that's just as fine, if not better, because it's pretty much easier to hide. So, I mean, look how far up BLANKA could look. That is so badass. I don't need him to look up more than that. That is perfect. And he can look down very far utilizing that neck joint. And you get some pivoting right over here too. I guess if you wanted to rotate that, it won't rotate so much. Yeah, okay. I was going to see if I could do like, oh, no, it will rotate. It just won't hinge. So, yeah, you get side-to-side motion over there at the base of the neck, too. Damn. But it is tricky to rotate there at the base. You could rotate just fine up here. Anyway, butterfly joints work pretty well. Just a little bit of gappage right there where I feel like you could creep in a little bit further, but still really good range of movement for these butterfly joints. You get shoulders that do move up at the 90-degree mark. They move in that far, rotate a full 360. Bicep swivel, beautiful pinless double jointed elbows, and then all the wrists turn side to side, hinge up and down. Great diaphragm cut right here that turns side to side. Good pivoting, crunches forward really far and back. You can see a little bit of back piece sticking out, and you get the same articulation at the waist, and it pivots. So with both joints moving forward, he'll crunch forward very far and move very far backwards. We get this nice soft material right over here for the crotch area, which allows the legs to kick up above the 90-degree mark. No need for drop-down hips in this case. I mentioned it with Sagat because that part of the shorts was hard plastic. If they'd used softer plastic, that would have worked just as fine for me. If you guys remember, my Street Humans figures did not have drop-down hips, but they had softer material over here at the waist so that they could move up quite a bit. So I'm not saying that drop-down hips are the only way to go. Having a softer crotch piece is fine too. The figure could do the splits, and he has this nice cut right over here above the knee, and then you get really good double jointed knees as well. By the way, no heating necessary to get this guy to move around. I love that they have calf cut right over here. It's hidden by the shekels, but it's also hidden by the fur going over that ankle cut. So that's really nice. Turns side to side. Ankles do move down. They do move up, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. No toe articulation. I would have liked to have had that, but it's not ruining the figure for me. And I measure out this BLANKA figure, you could see that it is standing just at 7.5 inches tall. And for your BLANKA comparison, you can see we have our Jada Toys BLANKA next to the SH Figuarts BLANKA, which I still think looks good. I actually like the colors on both of these equally as much, even though I do think this one looks a little bit more accurate to the game. But I do still like that one. Like, give me some good shading. Oh, man, I'm happy. And then here's BLANKA next to my only other deluxe Jada Toys Street Fighter figure. We have Sagat, and I really think Jada did price these both at a very fair price point of $35. it works for me, man. I'm happy. And then here's Blanka next to a couple regular-sized Jada Toy Street Fighter figures. We have Guile and DJ, and I really like how Blanka scales with these figures right here. He's a little bit bigger, a lot bulkier for sure, but not oversized. I just think this is perfect. And here's Blanka next to another green meanie. We have the Maximum Series Hulk, and yeah, very different shades of green right over there. So much yellow in the screen. And then here's Blanka next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Whoa, you too? Man, you gotta keep an eye out for those Brazilian sodas. Hey, I actually would like to try a sip. Do you have any more? So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to show some love by hitting that like button. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to jump in on the channel perks, you can hit that join button. And this Blanka is very, very cool. I basically sung its praises throughout the whole video. You guys know how I feel about this piece. Not a lot of complaints. If anything, minor gripes. I was joking earlier when I said I had a big complaint, and I really don't have one. I think the colors being off is just kind of the most legitimate complaint, or gripe anyway. But I'm not even bummed out about it. As I said, I still think the colors look very good. I still like the way it looks. I love the articulation. Man, the accessories, again, griping, you know, about more jagged electricity effects, like stuff like that. Dude, I'm very pleased with this piece, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I think Jada Toys nailed it with this one. At the price point of around $35, it's getting a SUD rating of... And I gotta know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. I think this figure is gonna be in my top 10 this year for figures of 2025, just in general. It's a fairly stunning piece, man. I wanna know what you gotta say about it. Do you have one? Let me know. Are you gonna get one? I wanna know. If you wanna follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face,